You're like smaller and smaller every time I see you.
Well, that's because I'm doing all my weights. See that? See those guns?
Yeah, flex.
Those guns. Yeah.
Nice. That
So
is awesome.
actually, just by chance, I went and had a bone density scan because my doctor thought I should have one. And
Okay.
interestingly enough, and I'm one of those people who's had weight problems over my life. So I try not to get overly excited when things happen. So I had been
Yeah.
noticing clothes bigger, that kind of thing. So I get on the scale, 8 pounds lighter, and I've got guns, which means there's more than the 8 pounds gone, right? And one of the key metrics they look at in terms of bone loss is your height. And I am exactly the same height I was at 15. So
That's
I
amazing.
think it's all good. Yeah.
That is great. It's amazing how the body can really just like recompose itself, and like the bone density can improve and the muscle mass goes up, all the while fat is going down. I mean, you know that every nutrition book ever says you can't do that. You have to either choose. You can lose fat or you can gain muscle, but you can't do both at the same time. Like, yes,
Well, I
can.
just did it in the last year.
That's amazing.
And the other thing is they do say that you can't add bone density, but I do know of a number of people who actually follow on Twitter now, X, which are women who had problems with either osteopenia or outright osteoporosis, who have gone to more carnivore diets or fully carnivore diets, and where they fully reversed that. So
Wow.
it was interesting to me when I had my bone scan, because I was saying, it'll be good to have a baseline, but regardless, I'm going to keep doing the good things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I got the whole lecture on once you've lost bone mass, you can't get it back and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we'll just wait and see what my next bone scan looks like. Okay. Anyway.
That's so awesome. Oh, that's great. How's life?
And it's really going pretty darn good. The
Good.
whole, getting the word out, making sure more people know about Oxalate, being able to help people who have fallen down the rabbit hole with Oxalate and help them, crawl their way back out. And, if I wasn't a true believer before in terms of what diet can do in order to improve your health, the more I tweak my own diet, the more I become an absolute true believer. This is the way, the truth, and the life when it comes to nutrition. My new tagline for nutrition in general. So regardless of how people want to eat, nutrient dense, lowest toxin possible. That's where you should bias your diet. And when you get to a sweet spot for you, and for some people, they can handle some more carbs. The older I get, insulin resistance tends to get worse as you get older in general, although I'd love to buck the trend on that one too. But first I have to get that muscle mass back to, make sure that my metabolism's cooking along the way it should. But that said, nutrient dense, lowest toxin, you're going to do yourself a favor, right? Because the other thing that I've been trying to speak about more with people is the whole business of it's not fuel. You aren't a car. You're not driving up to a gas pump and filling up with something that you're going to burn off. You're an independently mobile manufacturing facility. You build your replacement parts. That's not a fool around place, right? That's not, okay, maybe there's a moment for cake. I'm not convinced about that anymore, but maybe there is, okay? But that said, you really have to be thinking about what quality replacement part am I getting? Because for me now, the game is healthy as possible aging, had kids late in life, have to hang in there till the grandbabies arrive because my kids are young. And I don't want to be a grandma sitting in a rocker going, oh, that's nice, sweetie, and I can't do anything, right? going to be running and jumping and playing and getting on the
Hell yes.
cars and all that stuff, right? So that's what the guns are for. I'm doing pull-ups and all this stuff. Like, that's what it's for. But it's also, if I'm not building the best quality replacement parts at this point, then I'm asking for it, aren't I? I'm just putting myself in the bullseye and saying, go ahead, fire away. And I don't want to be there.
Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you the same questions. I want to capture all of that in the episode. Everything you sent was wonderful. And seriously, I feel like I'm going nuts. Anytime I talk about this, I feel like I'm absolutely insane. So we have tons of crossover from our first episode. I don't even really care. We haven't talked about this in a long time. So if I forget anything that you really want to talk about, like, let's make sure we talk about it. You can bring it up at any time, or maybe at the end, I'll say like, hey, what have I missed that we haven't already? But I'll try to remember all the things you said, which were all wonderful. And yeah, same as always.
Well, you did have the recording on, so you might be able to sneak a snippet in someplace.
Yeah, no, I do that from time to time. I'll say it's like a Candid before we started recording. I'll take that little snippet, and that's good YouTube content. And on that note, I'll send you, as always, all the Zoom content today.
Beautiful.
So you'll get that. You'll get all the audio, video, all the stuff that we do, social media stuff. No obligation to use it for anything, but always you can use it for whatever you like, whenever you like.